All right, so I stole this idea from Chris Bumstead, who did his own gym tour video roughly a couple of weeks ago, within the past couple of weeks. And so today, as a gym, I wanted to show you some of the equipment selections that I chose, some of the good, the bad, and the ugly with all of the equipment, and maybe hint at some other things that are going to be coming to the gym here very soon. So stick around and let's see what kind of equipment we have. All right, to start off our equipment tour, we got to show the really cool stuff. So this is our 4-person infrared sauna. If you've been following for a bit, I'll link it, but you've actually seen this before. We did have to fix it. This one is interesting, so it's not like a regular sauna that you would buy. We bought this one at Costco, which is kind of cool. So it was still about the same price as a regular sauna, but at the same time, it was a lot easier to come in, assemble, all that kind of stuff. So we get to start off there. And so we'll start cardio first. So we've got both a Matrix branded Stairmaster and then also a Matrix branded commercial treadmill. These were super nice. They're definite upgrades from what we used to have. The stuff that we used to have was just very interesting. And then we've got this Precor elliptical. So these come 2 different ways. You can either get them battery operated or a plug. We got a plug for this. That way I don't have to worry about changing our battery all the time. And then this is our stand-in, as of right now, Proform treadmill. So this one isn't as heavy duty as the Matrix one, but right now it's a stand-in until we find something a little bit better, something that'll last us for a longer period of time. So we're going to start in the very back. So right here we have got a Torque Fitness little storage unit, which holds all of our kettlebells, med balls, TRX straps, all that kind of stuff. It also holds our mats, which we have, a Rogue box, which is adjustable, which is nice. So we have one of those, all of our stability balls, one for each size. And we've got all of our dumbbells. These are varying in terms of the brand. So you've got Keys branded ones. There's some Hampton branded ones in here. So there's all different kinds. But we have this, and then we have a Parabody rack that we got for it. So it didn't come with all these dumbbells. We just kind of got that separate. And we've got our Frey Fitness Tib Raise, which I kind of like. So there's a couple of different brands. You can get a Hammer Strength one or a Frey Fitness. Frey Fitness is basically like commercial, except a little bit cheaper. So especially for a gym that's just starting out, this is a good option. And it's definitely high quality as well. So this is an unknown brand of a split squat bench, but it's kind of cool because it also comes with a step. So you can do step ups or you can do split squats off of that, which is nice. All right, to extend our cardio selection, we do have a Schwinn Airdyne Comp assault bike, which if you've been following, you also saw me do a couple of things to this to get this to work a little bit better and cleaned up. So this is super nice. Basically virtually indestructible is what I heard. So it's not a Rogue one, but at the same time it does the exact same thing, and apparently it's a lot just better built than it. So, and then we've got our Body Solid Endurance rower. So when we were researching rowers, we found either this one or the Concept 2. And I think the only difference was just the Concept 2 was able to be folded and tilted up. This one is not. It's standard here. And the Concept 2 is a little bit shorter. So this one is pretty long, actually. And you can kind of compare it to a barbell. But it's a little bit longer than a regular one. So, and then, of course, we've got so many different bars. Pretty much all Rogue bars. Power bar, squat bars, deadlift bars. We've got an Earthquake bar at the top too, if you've ever seen one of those. And then Pharmacarry handles over here that don't really have a brand, along with the one back here. And then we've got an Elite FTS sled and a Rogue sled. So that's the Prowler. And then this one is the Butcher. So this is the cheaper one, honestly, of all of them. But it was super nice, especially at our old location, utilizing one of these. And then we ended up getting this as well a few months after that. Then we've got a standalone sled over there. We've got a keg, which is kind of cool. And then all of our boxes. So these boxes I was able to find from a local gym, and they were in about that condition right there. But none of them had tops, and none of them had the wooden pieces here or these handles to stop weights or anything like that, and to make it easy. So of course I went through and cleaned all of that and did all that, painted them so they kind of look nice. Some more bars, Elite FTS and Rogue mostly, but then we have a couple that are just kind of throwaway bars, a couple tires, kind of cool. And then we go into all of our equipment. So all of our benches are kind of varying. So we have a few different brands. So Pro Power incline bench, which is super nice. I do like the two different places to put the bar, and then you got the platform back there in the back, which is nice. And then here is our hammer strength one, super well built. It's got the weight horns on it, which is super cool. They all come standard with a smaller pad, and it's a very slick pad. So one of the first things that we changed on a lot of these was we took that off, and I got a Fringe Sport. It's a wider, thicker pad to kind of simulate a powerlifting rack, to simulate a combo rack pad on a bench. So I did that for that one. Then this one over here, that one does not have a brand, but also it was free to us, and it has a spotter deck, which is nice. Then we get into our Bells of Steel combo rack. It's a strongman combo rack, or strong arm, sorry, combo rack. Either strong arm or Bells of Steel sell it. We got it from Bells of Steel, so this is nice. I think this is their third iteration of the rack. But it's nice. There's like pegs back here to put weights on. It's not the sturdiest of things, but for the price that we got it at, it was super nice. Got some calibrated plates, all of our Bells of Steel bumper plates as well. Super nice, super high quality. Then we come over here, more bars, plates, all of that. And then these two deadlift platforms are actually Pro Power as well, along with the incline bench that you saw over there. But these are super nice because there's a frame all the way around, and then there's two pieces of wood underneath what you see here, and then you've got the middle nice piece of wood and then two pieces of rubber. So it's super thick and super durable, instead of just like a bunch of wood that's nailed together or screwed together, all that kind of stuff. So same thing here. And then we get into our Texas String Systems combo rack. This is the one that majority of people use for USPA meets. Even some other federations use these, which they're super nice, super high quality. We got our logo right down there on it, which makes it nice. And we got a blue because those are our colors. And then you can see we have a safety squat bar on top of that. So the price of it is probably half of what a Rogue or Ghost combo rack would be, but the quality is just the same. So super impressed with that. Then we move over to our, I believe, also Pro Power cage, so our squat cage. So it has two stations on it, a few pull-up situations on there, and then the weight horns on that, which is super nice. The only thing that's interesting with that is if you're squatting, you're kind of facing each other, but these holes on either side, which you can kind of see through, allow you to face away if you need to. And then we come over to our hammer strength rack, which is super nice, super heavy duty. It's a beast to try and move. But overall, it's super nice. Some people don't like these little hooks that you rest the bar on just because they stick out. But these are super, I love it. It's awesome. It's just kind of an extra like safety measure. Whenever you slam the bar into it, it falls down into a groove, and it's an extra safety measure that it doesn't fly back. So big fan of that. Then we get into our Synergy hip thrust. So this looks a little bit different than the Nautilus or any other ones that you see on the market. But with this one, what I like is, one, that foot plate is adjustable, which is a little bit different than all the other ones. And then I don't know if any of the other ones also have these band attachments. So you can do banded thrusts and all of that. So it's a little bit cheaper, and you can kind of tell that whenever you utilize it. It's not as like big of a footprint. because these mats are about 4x6. So you can kind of tell it's not as big of a footprint, but at the same time, it's super nice. And then we come over here to our Bells of Steel belt squat. Probably one of the best purchases that I've made just for this gym, because you can see like you've got all of your band pegs that you can attach bands to. This can actually be removed. You can use any type of attachment or anything like that that you want. You can just leave the carabiner on there. The only thing that's a little bit different with these, which is kind of meh, is they're super low to the ground. So normally you can take these weight pegs and actually face them out as opposed to up. But on these we faced them up because if we faced them out, then the weight was going to hit the ground. So I also got just some wood planks to set it on, kind of like a platform. Makes it super nice. It's a super quick and easy fix for that. And I actually prefer this over the Pit Shark anyway. It's just a lot easier to get into. It feels a lot more comfortable. So that's usually the one that gets compared to. And then you've got your Elite FTS back extension. Nothing crazy there. Kind of nice. Hammer strength. Got a lot of hammer strength stuff. So this is the seated calf one. We had a Titan one a while back, but it just was not comfortable. They were like circular pads that were super thin and they were foamy that went on your knees, but these ones are a lot nicer, a lot easier to get. And then we've got this piece that not a lot of people have seen, which is our Body Solid leverage squat. So basically with this, it's to simulate like a regular squat, or you do have this angular step here that you can stand on, and you give it a little bit more of a pendulum feel. It's like a very small pendulum. There could be one going there, like a regular pendulum. We'll have to see. But right now we have that. Now we get into our leg pieces, which is the ones that we've taken a little bit to develop. So Nautilus hack squat, probably the best hack squat that you can get on the market, the best one that I have ever used or seen. Weight horns are super long. The range of motion on this thing is crazy. So super nice. Foot plate obviously is huge. If you look at it from this side, like it's crazy how big that is and how tall it can get too. So it's a super big foot plate right there. And then we've got our leg press. So depending upon who you ask, this is either an Icarian or a Precor leg press, which is super nice. So the things that I like about this one are the adjustability here in your back. You've got 4 sets of weight horns. So you got your lower ones and you got your upper ones for extra weight. And then you can see that the foot plate actually angles. So instead of being straight up and down, you do have a couple of angles that you can utilize, which is nice. If you want to experiment with foot placement, if you want to experiment with all that kind of stuff. So and then come around, Pro Power GHR, so glute ham raise if you're familiar. Those pegs right there where your feet go. It'd be nice if those were like foot like pads or like platforms or something, but we make do. West side barbell reverse hyper. It's a good cheap option for a reverse hyper. Super nice, super high quality for that. And then we've got another Pro Power piece of equipment, which is our lying leg curl. Super nice on this one. So the difference with this one too is the adjustability on it. You can take that down and up, and set this a little bit lower to get a deeper range of motion, which is nice. This was just reupholstered, so that's why that's gray, but that's black. That used to be like red and gray, and that used to just be gray, so we had to fix that. And then this is our Life Fitness seated leg curl, probably one of our newer looking pieces. Super nice, a lot of adjustability, probably one of the best on the market that you can find. One of my favorite pieces behind the hack squat. And then we go into our Life Fitness leg extension. This one is a little bit older, but it has been indestructible. It has been with us since the very beginning, with 0 issues from the very beginning. This thing has never broken down. This thing has never done anything. The only thing I've had to do is put WD-40 or something like that on the slides so that it moves a little bit better, but I didn't even have to do that. That's just how good that is, a lot of adjustability there. Then we've got our hip abductor adductor. So this is a Cybex branded one, an older version of this as well. So this looks a little bit different than a lot of the other ones that you're probably going to see. A lot of them just have like a little foot plate or something like that. Or sometimes they have two pegs that you fit your heel into. These ones have little cuffs that go around your ankles. And so that allows for you to be able to do the movement, but not have to rely on your feet, like driving it out or driving it in, depending upon which one you use. So that makes that nice. Then we go over into my least and also most favorite piece of equipment that we have is our Pro Maxima standing calf raise. So when we went and bought a lot of our equipment at the very beginning, we saw this and it was not on our list, but we decided we needed to get it. And ever since we got it, this has been one thing that not a lot of places have, which is very interesting. Posted some videos on it and people didn't even know what it was. So now the next thing we get into is our newest piece to us is our Pro Power row, seated row, chest supported row. And so this one was in a very bad shape whenever we got it. These were not white, they were like a stained yellow. The pads were awful. It was sitting outside. So what I ended up doing was cleaned it all up and everything like that. It's super nice. It's super good in terms of range of motion, especially for shorter arms. If you're a taller person, it's not the greatest. But it was a lot better than what we used to have, which was a hoist, seated row, and pull down combo. This one just, you get a better range of motion off of it. It's just a lot better. This will be upgraded at some point, but right now that's what we have, and our members really do like it, so works out for us. And then we add into our hammer strength collection. So we've got a high pull down. This is the one where you face away from the handles and you pull it straight down towards you. I'll probably throw in a little demo video, kind of show you how that's utilized, but super nice. Had to add that to our arsenal along with a low row. That was another one that we were very much needed to have. So we got a lot of these from a high school that was downsizing all of their equipment, took a lot of their hammer strength stuff, so you'll see a lot of that there. Then we've got our Magnum multi-station unit. So the things that I like about this one, which is kind of cool, number one, you have a lat pull down and you also have a low row. So you've got two middle attachments, you've got your pull up, but then you also have this little tricep station too, and that's always attached. I've thought about cutting that and putting a carabiner there so you can change out the attachment, but it's a nice little tricep pad that you can do tricep extensions off of and all that. So that was a nice addition to this because we only had one cable that we were utilizing. Now we get into our overhead shoulder press. So this is super nice as well, super heavy duty. This one is not only unilateral but bilateral, so you can do, meaning you can do one arm or you can do both arms on this one. It's the same brand, if you notice, and the same age technically as the hip that's back there, but super nice. Again, this was kind of dirty whenever we got it, so I cleaned that. Then we've got the one that not a lot of people have seen, which is our Dynabody chest supported T-bar row. So most T-bar rows that you see, this is just going to be like two handles that you grab and then you'll put your weight on and go. So number one, the thing that's nice with this one is the widened foot plate. So this thing is huge. It's probably double if not triple the size of a standard foot plate. And then the other thing that's cool is with these, you can turn them. So you can do an underhand, you can do an overhand, you can do a neutral, you can do all different kinds of grips on this thing, which makes it nice, adds a lot of variability to your T-bar instead of just two handles that you kind of have to work around. Next we've got our Cybex Smith machine. So out of the Smith machines, number one, this is a linear. So sometimes you'll see ones at an angle. This is a linear, so it goes straight up and down. And you get a little bit more range of motion on this one as opposed to some other ones. So this is super nice. One of the better ones, I think. I don't really like the angled ones. I like it to go straight up and down so that I can do some different squats and things off of that. So there's that. And then we've got a couple of assorted benches over here. So Elite FTS bench. And then this one, I'm failing to remember the brand, but it's a split squat or sissy squat stand. So the back pad moves and all of that. So definitely have one of those, which is super nice on a leg day. Then we get into one of our first hammer strength pieces that we ever got, which is our incline like shoulder press. So it goes outward instead of straight up, which was super nice to get. Got that for super cheap, and it's indestructible virtually. Has had not had any problems since we've gotten it. So high quality there. And move around. And so we have got a assisted dip pull-up machine. And so with this, it's a little bit different because number one, that's a foot pad instead of a knee pad. So you stand on this one as opposed to kneel on it. And I like it for the taller and even shorter clients. Sometimes if you're taller and you have the knee one, it's very awkward and you have to adjust it a lot. But with this one, it's tall, so you're able to get in and out of it pretty easily. So there's that. And then we've got some other hammer strength pieces. So we've got our decline and our incline pieces right here. Like I said, those came with all of the row ones that we got from the high school. So definitely needed to get 2 chest pieces off of that. The next one we got was our Light Fitness chest fly rear delt machine. So with this one, we had a hoist branded one beforehand where these handles kind of move. I wasn't the biggest fan of it whenever that happened, so we upgraded to this one. I believe a larger weight stack. It was just easier adjustment there, and then I liked the handles just a lot better. So that was something that we got with all of these other 2 pieces. And then we get into probably one of our oldest pieces that we have, which is our hoist multi-press. Our members are very split from what I hear about this piece. I've heard some people don't like it. It's probably one of my favorites chest pieces that we have. Is probably my second favorite to the incline chest press that we have. And only because like you have 2 separate handles and you can do an incline, you can do a flat, and you can do a shoulder press all on just one machine, which is super nice. Super hard to come by, especially if these 2 are taken and you're wanting to get another chest piece or something like that in there. That's super nice. Get a lot of variability with that. Then we get into this one, which hasn't been really seen by a lot of people, but this is a lateral raise. Anymore you see the standing variation, but this one is a seated variation. We've had this one since the beginning with a little stint in between where we tried to sell it because no one really liked it. But with this one, the only thing that we had changed and everyone started to love it was a lot of the tension on it. The cable just needed to be fixed, so got that. Then we get into our arm pieces. So we've got a pre-core bicep curl. So this one's a little bit different instead of like a regular preacher curl where it's angled down, kind of like our preacher curl bench over there. We've got this one which is flat. So your arm is kind of flat whenever you're doing a curl. So it's super different, super nice doing that. Then we break into our other Pro Power piece, which this is one, Pro Power is very hit or miss. We found out they make indestructible pieces of equipment, I will say that, and they're super easy to move. These things will never break, but they're kind of look old, so we deal with that. But like I said, virtually indestructible, and in a gym like the one that we have, I would rather have indestructible pieces of equipment than buy brand new stuff that breaks down all the time. So none of my Pro Power stuff has ever broken down, which is nice. And then nothing crazy up here, just an assortment of benches. So we've got 4 benches. One is a decline, the other 2 are incline, and then we've got 1 flat. All of our dumbbells, they go up to 100. We'd like to get some that go up a little bit higher at some point. And then we've got our hoist, which is an ab tower, and also dip station. Then we've got a hoist right next to a decline bench for sit-ups and all of that. And then we finish off over here. We've got 2 spin bikes, 2 different brands. We have a Schwinn and a Cyclops one. Big fans of those. And then we've got our next cable, which is a Precore. This is also one of our oldest pieces that we have. So when we started the gym. We had this pre-core, we had our hoist, everything hoist, and then basically the back half with a couple of benches and a couple of squat racks. So slowly phasing out all of the stuff that we used to have. But we've held on to this because it is super nice. I've only had to replace the cable on this once. Great, in great shape. And then the last piece, because I almost forgot about it, is another cable apparatus that we have. This was free to us by a physical therapy business that was downsizing some of their equipment. And so they gave that to us along with the flat bench back there that had a spotter stand on it, which you saw a little bit earlier. But we got that for free, which was great. And I think out of all the pieces of equipment, that was pretty much it. All right, so I did all of that to kind of give you a little bit of a tour of all of the equipment that we have, what you can expect whenever you come into here. Obviously, a lot of that changes, and there's a lot of open spots that you probably saw in there. They are 4 pieces of equipment that I have a list of that I'm hoping to bring in either the summer, later on this year, or early next year. Just a couple of pieces that members have been asking about, a couple of pieces that are kind of rare, pieces that I have always wanted to have in the gym. It's just equipment is expensive, if you know, and you got to be smart about what kind of equipment that you get. So hopefully you all enjoyed that equipment tour. And if you need a breakdown on any of the pieces of equipment, just comment down below. Let us know some of your favorite pieces that you saw. Ask any questions about the quality of the equipment, all of that, and I will be sure to answer all those for you. So without further ado, I will sign off here, I guess, and catch you all in the next video.